Hello YouTubers, this is my Kawasaki ZX6R J1 2000 model. I love this girl, but recently she's been giving me a little bit of problems. The other day I ran out of fuel, but these bikes have a reserve. I think it's 3 litre reserve in the bottom of the tank, so I switched the fuel tap over to reserve and went to the service station and filled up with petrol. But since then she hasn't been running right. She hasn't been running real well. Just stuttering when I get up to about 4.5–5 grand in both second and third gears, first and fourth, and when I eventually get up to 5th or 6th if I get on the freeway. It seemed to be okay, but it's just second and third gear, around about 4.5–5 grand upwards until you hit about 6 grand, and then it clears up. So I think I've got a bit of dirt in the bottom of my tank, and putting it in reserve has sucked some gunk through into the carbs. So I'm just going to take the tank off and take the caps off the top of the carbs, pull the needles out. I might even squirt some compressed air down through the main jets, just because there could even be a little bit of water or something in the bottom of the bowls of the carbs, just to squirt it all out and see how we go from there. I'll probably even drain the tank itself out into a container, take the fuel tap off, or petcock as the real name is for it, take it off, give it a good clean out the tank just to make sure I've got all the gunk out. So if I do hit reserve again, which I hope, which I rarely do, then I've cleaned all the gunk out. It shouldn't happen again, but I'm hoping that's the issue. We'll see. Could be a process of elimination, but anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so first things first is I put the back wheel up on a race stand. As you can see here, got the racing bobbins attached, and this just gives you a nice level bike, a nice level surface or whatever to work with, and that way it's not leaning over, and yeah, it gets awkward sometimes when it's leaning over and you've got to try and get into awkward positions. But the first thing we need to do is to remove the seats. Remove the back one first. We're using the key, ignition key, and you can take that one off. Then there's a bolt under the let's just show, let's take the key, let's put the key in there. So that just pops off. Put that down there. As you can see, that 10mm bolt, we need to remove that, and then the rider's seat will come off, and then we'll be able to access the tank. So I'll do that and get back to you. Okay, so I've got the both seats off, got the rider's seat off. Now we need to take the tank off, so we need to remove these 2 bolts here, X bolts, and those 2 there. I'll also just get a Phillips head screwdriver first and unscrew the fuel tap lever. I probably should turn the fuel off first. So that's off. That was on before. Sorry, should straighten up the camera. That's on, that's off, and that's reserve. That's what I had it in before, but We'll switch it to off and just get a Phillips head screwdriver in there, unscrew that, and then, like I said, these two hex bolts here and two there, remove those. You'll have to remove, if you can see under there, there's the fuel line there coming from the fuel tap into the fuel filter. We'll have to remove that as well. So I'll do that and get back to you. Okay, so we have the fuel tank off now. There it is over there. So next, we have to remove the air box to be able to get to the carbs. As you can see, just here, that's the fuel line that goes to the fuel tap. So it comes out of the fuel tap into the fuel filter, flows along there into the fuel pump, pumps it back out, up into the carbs. But anyway, take this air box I should say, off, and then we'll get to the carbs again. 10mm socket. It should remove all those bolts. So we'll do that and I'll get back to you. Okay, now we have the top of the air box off. You see the air filter here. We need to still get the bottom of the air box off. So again, 2 bolts, one there, 10mm. Should remove that. Okay, so I've got the bottom of the air box off, and there's the carburetors. Inline 4 carbs, 4 cylinders. As you can see, I mean, I've just got some glad wrap or cling wrap or saran wrap, I think the Americans call it. I'm just stuck it in the top of the intake there, just to stop dirt and junk falling in. That's the last thing you want. So what I'm going to do is take the caps off here, and if I just take that out, you can see there, down here, that's the main needle going into the main jet. So I'm going to pull all that out and squirt some compressed air through the main jet there, and because the bowls are way down here and they are an absolute mongrel to get off. It's a very tight space, as you can see, and the other bolts are right underneath. Can't get a screwdriver or any kind of thing in there, or any kind of tool that I own, so there's probably something you can use. So just be easier to go from the top. I'll try that anyway. It may not work, but we'll see. Like I said, it could be a process of elimination. But first, I think to have easier access, I'm going to have to pull this off, and maybe that one too. Just pull them off and move them out the way, and then take the caps off. So I'll take the caps off, do all that, take the caps off and the needles out, and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so you can see here, I've taken the cap off. That's the spring, that's the diaphragm there, pulls the needle right out. So that's exposed the main jet. As you can see, that gold thing down in there, that main jet. I'm going to get an air blower right down on the tip of that, and blow some compressed air in through there. Some fuel will probably squirt out here and come out the sides, but I'll get a rag and hold it over just to keep mess to a minimum. And I'm going to do that to all 4. So once I've done that, I'll get back to you. Okay, so that's done. Taken all the caps off, taken the needles out, put some compressed air through the main jets. But I've also noticed over this side, just here, is the throttle position sensor. So I might just pop that off as well. and give it a clean with some electrical cleaner. You know, maybe, you know, like I said, it's a process of elimination. Couldn't hurt just giving that a clean as well. It's just your throttle position sensor right there. So I'll do that and get back to you. Okay, so I've cleaned the throttle position sensor. I've put the air box and everything back on. And next, I'm gonna drain the tank, and I'm gonna remove the fuel tap or petcock, and clean it all out, clean the tank out, and put the fuel back in. When I put it back in, I'll put a little filter over it, so if there is any gunk in the fuel, it'll filter it out as well. So hopefully I'll have a nice clean tank, nice clean fuel, nice clean fuel tap, nice clean carbs, and that should eliminate my problem for a long while. So once I get this tank drained and the fuel tap off, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've drained the tank. I've taken the fuel tap off. That's where it goes. Here it is here. And I've dried it up, and there was a lot of gunk in and around there. And so I've taken it all apart, put the compressed air through it, so that's all nice and clean now. Now I'm just going to put some Kero or something through the tank and clean that out too. Okay, so I've cleaned the fuel tank out. I've put it back on, put the fuel tap back on. I've reattached the fuel line there. What you've got to do now is just put the fuel tap lever back on, Phillips head screwdriver, reattach 2 bolts there, the bracket, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there. I'll put the seats back on, fill her with some fuel, and we'll crank her over. Okay, fuel in the tank, ready to go. Let's see how she goes. Oh, nearly. There we go. Hey guys, it's a day or two later. I rode it to work, the bike to work, the next day. It was a lot better, but was still there. The problem was still there. Anyway, when I got home, I decided to see, there's a throttle position sensor there. Like I said, I gave it a clean, but I decided to completely unhook it. Just disconnected it and took it for a spin, and problem went away. So obviously there's a problem with the throttle position sensor, which you can see right there. You can see I've disconnected it. I know, well, I spoke to a local mechanic about it, and he said, yeah, a lot of people with J1s, J2s and J3s just disconnect their throttle position sensor altogether. So it may be a common problem, I'm not sure, but according to this mechanic, he was fully aware of it. So I've just disconnected, and the problem now has completely gone away. So I suppose with a quick carb clean, now it wasn't a total carb clean. If you want to totally clean the carbs, you're going to have to take the bowls off, which I mentioned earlier in the video, and clean the jets right out, especially the pilot jet. I just cleaned the main jet, but with a partial carb clean, and the throttle position sensor disconnected. Problem gone away. She's now running better than ever. Yeah, and very happy again. And she goes like the clappers. And if you appreciate your J1s, then have a good look at her. She's a beaut. Okay guys, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.